Hello, this is me, Brian. Today we're going to change the bottle, the oxygen bottle on the acetylene torch set, because I ran out of air. Right? I've got another bottle right there, a big green one, just it's got air in it. I don't know exactly how much until we get the regulator on and we find out. Right? And there's another red bottle right there, a small one of acetylene. Right now. Disclaimer. This stuff is very explosive. Right? I'm saying it's also kind of dangerous, you know what I'm saying, if you accidentally knock one of the valve tops off. Right? Because remember, these bottles are under extreme high pressure. Like this oxygen bottle at one point was like 1600. You know what I'm saying? Right? But it's over since I've used it a lot to do a lot of the framework, and that's why I'm changing the bottles, because I'm gonna start working on the frame again. Right? And saying it doesn't have any more air in it, right? So if you knock it over and it breaks the valve off, this thing turns into a torpedo, right? But all that pressure. If you knock the valve stem off the acetylene and a spark occurs at the same time, bro, you just blew up the shop. So be mindful, wear your eye protection, pay attention to what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You know, be very careful. Right? First thing you want to do is turn both valves off. Right? Make sure they're both off. And then you want to back the regulators out, right, until they run down to zero. And then you want to make sure, right, that they turn finger free. Right? Right? So you know it's sync, so there's no air in them. Right? Now, the next step is you want to purge both of your lines. Right? Open them both up. Right? And let it bleed for a while. Make sure that both lines are completely purged. Right? So we have absolutely no gas in the hoses. Right? Now the color coding on the hoses is pretty self-explanatory. Red is for acetylene, green is for oxygen. Right? You'll also notice, right? I'll give you a better shot of this when I get the regulator up. It's supposed to be color coded, you know, green and red. But sometimes you get off-color bottles, so that way you know which one's which. Plus, a lot of times on the bottle there's a sticker or something like this one. It says oxygen. Right? So therefore, right, on the other side, this one is these caps that come on these bottles are important safety device. Right? You know what I'm saying? When you're storing your bottles, you want to make sure it's got one. You know what I'm saying? Right? If you don't have one, you know what I'm saying, find one. These things are important. Right? Now, when they're being stored, when they're sitting around for a long period of time, out here, the threads will oxidate, they'll rust. You know what I'm saying? So these things are screwed all the way on, they're pretty much rusted on. Right? At this point, WD-40 is your friend. Right? What I did was I laid this bottle was over there against the wall of the toolbox. I laid it down, then I sprayed the threads right here with the WD-40 a couple times. Let it sit for a little while, came back, sprayed it again. Instead of let it sit for a little while, then I got the big channel lock and I put my foot on, twisted it till it broke loose, right? You know what I'm saying? This cap is a good thing to have, right? It protects the valve right here, in case the valve falls over, wherever, the valve don't snap off, and like I said, you got a torpedo, right? You see? Now, I know this bottle's got air in it, I just don't know how much, but let's check and make sure. Sounds good to me. Right, so we're going to put this baby back on. Go. I highly recommend that you screw it out with your fingers as far as you can get it. This is a chance for sparks, ignition, you know, incidents, all that shit. Right? And then, get your 1 1/8. Doesn't have to be torqued down to 0 pounds. That's about good. Okay. Tech tip for stoners and newbies. Especially you artist people that are starting to get into metal and stuff. The acetylene gas right, under the right atmospheric pressure and the right temperature, right, and the right PSI, you know what I'm saying, will auto-ignite all by itself. It won't explode, bang, like that. You know what I'm saying? But flames will come, you know, if there's a leak in the system or the hose anywhere, you know what I'm saying, it will auto-ignite and it will burn by itself. But believe me, it'll melt this rubber hose fast. And if this shit falls off, if it catches the strap on fire and melts it down and you don't know because you got a 40-foot hose and you're way over there, right? You know what I'm saying? The oxy bottle falls off and the valve hits, boom, right? You, the truck, and whatever you're working on is gone, bro. You know what I'm saying? So be mindful, right? When you're setting up your regulator, right, you do not want to put your PSI on your acetylene regulator higher than 10. Right? Maybe 11, you know, if you're using one of them big heavy duty cutting torches, right? But anything above 12, you know what I'm saying, is in the yellow. Anything between 15, 17, up to 20 is in the danger zone. At 29.4 psi, under the right atmospheric conditions and the right room temperature, this baby will light up by itself. 10 psi maximum on your acetylene regulator. Now, on your oxygen regulator, you know what I'm saying, most guys, right, they, you know, 30, 35, 38, you know what I'm saying, whatever. You know, open your valve up all the way. Alright? This bottle has got a little bit over, under 700 psi, so it's got some air in it. Right? The regulator on this one is opened at like 3. Let's turn it a little bit more. That's 30. Right? So our bottles is on, they're set, strapped down, switched out, there's no leaks. I'm smelling, I'm feeling the air. We didn't undo the acetylene, but it's good to check it anyway. I've seen some guys put a little bit of water on it. Look for some bubbles. Nope. We're good. What's the next step, Brian? You know what the next step is. I always use a sparker. Always use a sparker. And spark away from your tank. Remember, green is oxygen, red is acetylene. So you want to open up your acetylene a little bit. Open up your air. Oops. Come on. Open it up a little bit more. Till you get the flame. Again. The air pressure on the oxygen, the PSI on the oxygen is too high. Right, so you close your valve, bleed off your torch, right? Go all the way back down on you. Alright. Open you back up. Alright, finger tight. Now open your valve. Screw in the regulator. It's right here just below 20 right now. I moved it. Let's try 20. Huh? Looks like it worked to me. Okay. The final setting I got on the regulator here is I got the oxygen at about 20, right between 19 and 20, because the regulator's old, it's dirty, and I got the acetylene on 5. Right, that's the final setting. I'm going to leave it right there because that's optimal for what I do for the fabricating stuff that you know, when I use the gas torch. Yeah, I can use the MIG welder anytime I want, you know what I'm saying? And the MIG welder is a lot easier to use. This one is pretty old, you know what I'm saying? And it's real finicky and it only works at a certain setting. So, you know, with the MIG welder, I gotta have the right kind of metal to weld together. Fortunately for me, my motorcycle frame is that kind of metal. Now, the acetylene setup, Oxy-Actelene setup that I have right here, you know what I'm saying? As you can see clearly on the wall right there behind it, I got every known tip to man. Right now I got a number 6 on it, you know what I'm saying? I might go up to like a number 8, I think maybe, because then I need to do a little bit of cutting and stuff. Right, I have cutting tips, I have rose tips, I have every known acetylene torch setup that you can think of. Somewhere around me, you know what I'm saying? Right? Hopefully in the next coming, you know, weeks, right, I can go back to working on the frame and, you know, I can get some more Manhattan Project videos produced for you guys. You know, those guys that are really interested, you know what I'm saying? I do appreciate, you know, all 60 of you that always watch. You know what I'm saying? And I know you're learning from me. If anybody has any ideas or any suggestions or, you know, and the things that I videotape, that I make video about, you know what I'm saying? Please feel free, leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm always open to suggestions. You know what I'm saying? I'll answer your questions. I'll answer your comments. I usually do. Right? You know what I'm saying? Right? Just remember, you know, safety first. Right? Wear your safety glasses, wear your leather gloves. You know what I'm saying? If you have a leather vest, wear it. I got 3 or 4 of them, all different sizes in here. You know what I'm saying? And yes, be mindful, because this stuff is highly flammable and it's under extreme pressure. Right? You know, try to get it mounted on a rack or a dolly or some kind of thing. Use a good tight strap. You know what I'm saying? When you're not using it, push it over against the wall in the corner, you know what I'm saying, or somewhere in a clear area where you left, you know, so it doesn't fall over, right? And everything will be fine. This is me, Brian. Please like and subscribe and share this video if it made sense, if you really liked it, or if you think other, you know, young people and artists and other stuff need to know about the dangers of oxy-acetylene torch. Thank you.